Good evening, hope you're alright. It's super cold outside, so I do hope you've made a cup of tea so you can have a chat with me. No, I didn't already have the milk in there. I'm not that type of person. I'll put it in afterwards. I just edited it out. Sips tea. So, how are you all doing? How was your week? Hope you've had a good one. This video is about domestic violence, and I'm going to go on a bit of a feminist rant, but it's not what you think. Stay with me. Do get comfortable, take your shoes off, chill out. We're all friends around here. Let's talk. I was always going to talk about this at some point. It's not going to be in detail, but it's going to be in context of what I saw this week. So what triggered me, not triggered, but what triggered this video was the meme I saw on Instagram. For those of you that follow me, I put it up there. I think I put it on my story or on my page, I'm not sure. I think I did both actually. I'm going to try my best not to talk on celebrity, the celebrity world, because I don't have any interest in the world of celebrity or what they're doing. So it's not so much what this person said, it was what was said. And it was, Ike Turner died a villain. 60. Ike Turner died a villain because he was a villain. Now, I read a lot of comments on, never read the comment section, but I did read the comment section on the Shade Room, which was where it was posted. And actually two guys inboxed me. And I had a conversation with both. And one, at the end of the conversation, we both understood where we were both coming from. But the other one, so both males told me, contacted me and said, he does have a point. He did make Tina Turner, he gave her the name, he gave her all this, stardom, he paved the way for the genre, he did a lot for the genre. Sips tea. So let's put this into context. I've never, ever in my 33 years of living heard anyone say Ike Turner was a bad musician. He didn't contribute to the cause. He was a terrible artist. No, I've heard he was very, very talented, and he was a talented guy. Paved the way for, made movements for rock and roll, and he gave Tina Turner her name, and he put Tina Turner out there. If it wasn't for his promotion, we may not have had Tina Turner. Now, what we're not going to do is ignore the fact that this guy was very, 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 very abusive to his wife. His wife. Sexually abusive, physically abusive, and mentally abusive. So, Ike Turner chose to be a villain. He made that choice. You don't put your hands on somebody else, and that was his wife. Let's put this into context. It's not as if there's no right or wrong way of assaulting somebody. There's just no right. Let's just put that out there. But it's not as if, it was a shove and he was demonized for, shoving her in an argument. No. Battered his wife. Raped his wife. Mentally abused his wife. He was a villain. I don't care how good you can play the banjo, the guitar, the piano. You're a villain. You're just a talented villain. Let's move on. I don't even want to say celebrities' names because I don't want possible backlash from fans. But if one of our beloved female artists turned out to be an abusive wife and she was abusing her husband, hey, thanks for the thanks for the hit records, thanks for all this. But now you're a villain. You're just a talented villain. Let me sip tea. What I want to talk about is why we mustn't make light of this. Remember all the Ike Turner memes that came out, my girlfriend can't even, I can't remember what it was, but it was made a joke, and we all made them, we all laughed and saw the memes because of what he did to Tina Turner. We're laughing at her misfortune. It's mad when you think about it. It's mad. We're laughing at her mental, physical and sexual abuse. I'm gonna take you back to my experience with domestic violence. So I'm not gonna go into details, but what I want to highlight something what's important and what we miss when we see memes and we see news stories. So one of the things that's always been a nightmare for me, like when you think to yourself, oh, I would hate to go through this. So from childhood, I've always thought, I'd hate to be a victim of domestic violence. But I thought to myself, I would always be able to handle myself. 60. I always thought, you know, I'd be able to, you know, fight back. You know, I go gym. Haven't been to the gym for ages, but 60. But, you know, I always thought I'd be able to, you know, hold my own and, you know, hold the person off, until I found myself in that situation. So, no, I didn't, you know, I tried to defend myself. There was no match. I was no match. So, like I said, I'm not going to speak about the incident, but what I'm going to speak about is the aftermath and why we mustn't laugh at women or make light of... I say women, I know men are victims of domestic violence, but I'm just talking about in context. I'm just talking about my experience, and I'm a woman, so I'm here for my sisters. Let's just put that out there. Let's just talk about things, you know, from the surface. It's really, really, really humiliating. Imagine, you know, being in a fight on a Saturday night, a nightclub, and you get battered and everyone's standing around. It's embarrassing. To me anyway, it was the same level of embarrassment. Me being floored by somebody who's supposed to be my man. I was very embarrassed. Second of all, it's humiliating. It's humiliating because I couldn't defend myself. It's humiliating because I had to run out of where I was living and ask a perfect stranger on the street for help. That was pretty embarrassing. Embarrassing is having to recount the story. Embarrassing because it's just a huge state of vulnerability. To imagine walking outside naked, it's like, oh my god, you know, you're gonna be embarrassed and vulnerable. Also, the shame, and with that, it's shame and confusion. And it's when you're speaking to certain people and they say, you know, okay, so what did you do exactly? It's like, okay, fair enough. It's a fair question. It's a fair question. However, unless I pose an immediate threat to myself or others, there's no reason to take me down or to take anybody down. There's no reason to put your hands on your missus if she's not posing an immediate threat to herself or you, you know? 60. So having people dissect what was going on, what did you do? And like I said, there's not a laundry list of things that warrant a beat down from your partner. But so I wasn't disrespectful. You know, oh, if you disrespect someone's mom, no, I didn't disrespect anybody's mom. Didn't put hands on anybody. Wasn't throwing anything. So I wasn't posing an immediate danger or threat. So there was no need to put your hands on me. Get comfortable. So those are all the things that are on the surface that people might think, you know, that might occur during the aftermath of a domestic dispute or domestic violence or whatever. Now let's talk about long term. I don't sleep. I don't sleep properly. Of course I sleep, but not sleep properly. And I suffer with recurrent dreams or nightmares. Sometimes it will still consume my mind. Because one thing I guess, grateful, I hate them. Sometimes I like the word grateful, but I don't like it in certain contexts. And I guess I'm grateful for the fact that I knew from day one when it happened, it was not my fault. And nobody could convince me otherwise. It wasn't my fault. Oh, but did you? No, didn't. But no. I didn't do anything that warranted what happened. And no one could convince me otherwise. 60. So I guess I'm grateful for that. And I never felt confused. What did I do? What did I... The confusion came with, wow, why would you do that to me? Why? So still I battle with that as well. I battle with that because I just think definitely wasn't a perfect person. Still not a perfect person now, but through all my faults, and I have many, actually don't have many, I have faults, a beat down wasn't the answer to anything that I was lacking as a person, or no. So when we are sharing memes and when we're talking about Ike Turner being a villain, and when Snapchat thinks they're being funny with sharing that, you know, would you rather slap or punch, it's not funny. It's not funny for both parties. It's not funny for the victim. It's not funny, and we can't make light of that. You know, do we praise Hitler because I don't know. I don't care about Hitler. But let's just say, you know, he was a great guy. He made a mean spaghetti bolognese. Do we give him a pass? Do we give him and his spag bol a pass? Because, you know, it was tasty? No, we don't. He's a villain. He died a villain, and he's always going to be known as a villain. Bon you and your spag bol, Hitler. Sips tea. So it's like, imagine I'm with somebody now and you find out that I'm abusing my partner. Are you guys going to give me a pass because I've got an epic mug collection? No, you're not. You're going to say, Anna, you and your mugs do one. Because that's what you should feel. Now, let me just blend this into my feminist rant. So my idea of feminism, it was because I grew up in the 80s, so I guess I was on the tail end of the 60s and the 70s. You know, we were burning bras, we were letting our armpits go. Remember, I wasn't born in the 70s. Listen to me, just, you know, stay with me. It was, you know, equal pay, and so feminism has definitely come a long way. It's not just about, you know, I hate men, you're all scumbags, let me burn my bra. No, it's not. And although I think since I went through my episode, you know, since I went through my you know, through that period where I experienced domestic violence, I understand feminism on a whole new level. I understand. So listen to this. It clicked with me the other day. I was watching a murder documentary. I watch way too many murder documentaries. I don't trust anybody. Sips tea. So this woman, she was jogging in the woods on her lunch break. And lunch break, so it's 1 o'clock. So she went for a quick jog in her lunch break, never came back. Moral of the story, some guy was just lurking around, saw her, raped her and killed her. Okay, got justice, he got sentenced to life, awesome. Now, I read the comments, remember, never read the comment section. And there was an overwhelming consensus of, you know, she's an idiot, why would you jog in the woods on your own? She's dumb, why wouldn't she want... Why is she not allowed to jog in peace in broad daylight? In the middle of the night, she wants to jog in the middle of the night. Don't get me wrong, of course it's not a good idea. But because she's a woman, it's not a bad, it's a bad idea for her to jog on her lunch break. How about, you know, I can't believe, you know, this guy was just lurking in the woods, you know, with his sexual predator, dirty, stinking, rotted self. Why aren't we talking about him and his sadistic mentality? Why is she's not to blame at all. If she went jogging butt naked in the woods, she still wouldn't be at fault. Of course it's stupid, but it's a stupid idea, but she's not at fault. So feminism to me, it's like, it's just, guys, just check yourself. It's not a case of, you know, women, we must put men down. Just check yourself. So when you see certain things, you know, Ike Turner died a villain. He was a villain. He was just a talented villain. Women, we need to be able to feel comfortable in the home with our spouses. We need to feel, you know, we don't want to walk on eggshells just in case you lash out again. We don't want to do that. We want to jog in the woods in broad daylight on our lunch breaks. That's what feminism to me, you know, the equality, all that stuff. Equal to me is just a man jogging in the woods, nobody will bat an eyelid. But because it's a female, oh God, she should have done this, no. So guys, you know, especially guys that have daughters, just think. And one thing I do say is I don't think men and women can really truly understand each other. It's because we know we're made genetically different. Our thought process is different. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. So you don't have to try and think like a woman or get inside a woman's mind. It's just a simple case of understanding. You know, think to yourself, hold on, how come a woman can't just go jogging in peace? Instead of the immediate thoughts, oh gosh, she's stupid, she shouldn't have jogged on her own. Feminism to me is, wow, she should be allowed to jog. Do you get where I'm coming from? I just bashed my lip. So to wrap it up, you know, we all need to be a little bit more understanding of each other and circumstances and situations. Just because you haven't been through it, or you're not going through it, or you don't believe you'll ever go through it, doesn't mean you can't offer a compassionate shoulder to lean on, or a compassionate understanding. You know, we mustn't make light of each other's situations, and you know, with the influx of information and news offered to us, you know, at our fingertips via social media, you know, word of mouth. Just have a bit of a critical mind, be mindful, and, you know, just be there for each other. Women, be here for each other. Men, you know, just think, could be your daughter, your mother, your sister. So, you know, just think.